Hello, I'm back. I'm live again, and I can see you. Welcome to all my friends. I'm happy, yeah, happy. We're here again, and we can stream it all together right on JP's. And what melody is that? Na, na, na. Mm, mm. That's a Backstreet Boys or Britney song. Anyway, welcome back to my YouTube live stream where I want to share with you that I'm back again on the artist way. Back, back to basics, back to the roots. Not gonna lie. I First of all, let's do some housekeeping. If you're new here, you are welcome to join and subscribe. If you're new here, you're welcome to engage after you've been a subscriber for 20 minutes. If you're new here and you want to see the captions, I think YouTube does that automatically. And that's all I got for you. So if you don't know me, I'll introduce myself. I am John Paul. I go, according to this YouTube, by Three Hues. Just came up with a name, thought it was a cool name. Um, who knows? I may stick with John Paul. And what I wanted to do was to get deeper into my inner self, artistic side, and explore that. And one way that was easy for me to make videos is to stream, because when I stream, I don't have to edit, etc. What is the week one of the artist way about? Let's get straight into it. On a personal note, felt I was getting a bit too consumed in the material world, and not necessarily money, but just physical. Like I'm looking on physical things and I'm trying to control physical things. I'm looking on stuff in front of me and I'm thinking I can control that. And I can't. I can't. There's just too much variable. I don't even know where my car keys are. There's too much variables happening at any point in time. Where are my car keys? There are too much variables happening at any point in time. And I'm pretty much wanting to surrender because that has worked. If you when the first time I did the artist way week one, um, my vocabulary was a little different. I was 1 year younger. I'm now 29. I mean, yeah, I'm now 29, and I started the book around this time last year actually. And I credit the book for a lot of spiritual growth I've had, as well as a lot of growth in just knowing who I am, knowing what I came to do, knowing what I'm capable of doing, being aware of God's role in my life, God's spiritual power over my life, and me being pretty much just a conduit, and art showing up through my role as a conduit. And when I get so caught up in material, art tends to ground me. But when I was painting recently, I was like, I should sell this. I want to sell this. And I got caught up again. And I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong, but I don't think I was doing it right. Meaning, I do my art freely, then want to sell it. Then I'm like, why? Why is it so hard? Like, why is it so hard to sell it? Why is it so hard to figure out the gallery to talk to? Why is it so hard to find the right person to speak with? Why is it so hard to get over my own nerves? And the first time I painted, I went through the same thing. Why is it so hard to lay a brush on a canvas? Why is it so hard to just get what I want to say out? And then, so I just want to get comfortable. And then I did the first brushstroke, and then I did more and more paintings, and then it became a habit. So I want to start with a couple of things I'm grateful for. Did you know that when I was streaming last year, I had to stream on the hotspot of my phone, or I'd have to go to a location and stream from their Wi-Fi or their internet because there is no Wi-Fi at home in Jamaica, and I made it work. I made it work. Um, and it's a mindset thing because I'd be lying if I told you I didn't have any money. But for those of you who know what it means to like, you're still forecasting how long your money will last. And when I was in that state, I was like, penny pinching everything, forecasting, the forecasting, the forecasting. And I don't know if it was an abundant state. Well, it wasn't an abundant state. Maybe. I mean, I made it work, which is abundant. But, and I want to put this out there because I don't know if I'd watch it again because I'm not the kind to rewatch myself. I can't change anything in the past, so I try to not just go back into anything in the past. But now I get to stream on Wi-Fi. Yes, streaming on Wi-Fi. Let me see if I could give y'all some better quality while we're here. I can't. So now we're streaming on Wi-Fi, and um, I'm giving you a relaxed me. I'm grateful for that. I am where I'm working is paying for it because of the work I do, and I have a lot to be thankful for. And I thank art for the life it's created for me. And as I sit here doing this, I'm realizing that I didn't need to, and I don't need to sell the art. The fact that I'm creating is making me so rich that no amount of selling of this art could craft the life I'm having. It's through the journey that I've documented here how I'm able to continue this life that I'm living and this lifestyle I have, which will only keep going from here. But it just clicked to me as I'm recording that I don't need to sell the art. The art is an act of service. The reward is the life that I live. The art is an act of service. The reward is the life that I live. There's nothing I mean, I could pay off my credit card, but that will be paid off. I have faith in that. But beyond the material, again, the material world, I'm genuinely grateful I have everything I need. I'm not gonna cry, but I remember again we're talking about mindset, and I know you guys don't judge me, so I'm just gonna talk with being honest, right? So when I just left, when I just started my journey, and I went to Jamaica, and I was living in Ocho Rios, and the food came up. So I want to talk about the food. and I was learning to cook again for myself. Not that I forgot to cook, but I was basically I didn't really used to cook that much, so I was cooking every day to be on a budget and to feed myself, and it built the habit of me like being just very humble and cook my mackerel and my dumpling and season it and enjoy that. And I remember being so proud of what I would make. And I didn't start the artistic journey yet. I was more in the presence journey at the time. I was more in the um, just assessing what this all means and trying to feel grounded, trying to feel humble, trying to feel present. I made my food and I would try again. I remember tried a big boy meal. I tried to make I go to the market. Oh my god, I remember going to the market. I go to the market and I was not a guy to go to the market because I was the kind of person who one didn't have time for that, but I found the time. I had to. And I would get my peas and my rice and my scallion and I made the best rice and peas. So them peas was hard. Those peas were hard. And did not work out no matter how much I boiled it. And I tried to make chicken like brown stew. I think it was stew chicken. I remember that turned out good and I just lived a whole basic, simple life. And there was a point that for some reason there were a lot of roaches. And I don't know if it's because in Jamaica in St. Mary it's a wet area because it's not like there was sewage, it's not like there was garbage, there's none of that. They were just in the nature. I was in the nature. I was in a Airbnb in like the hills, cool mountains. And the roaches would just like appear. I'm just like, why? And looking back, I don't know if that was just God's way of ushering me now into the new space because I would have stayed there. And if you listen, sometimes you're not supposed to stay somewhere in your life. You're supposed to go forward. And you never know what that looks like. And you never know what that looks like. So I got my emotion to go. We're supposed to be talking about the artist way. So I'm kind of too deep on that topic. So let's pivot to the artist way. So basically, this all was rolling up to the fundamentals of the spiritual aspect of my life, which was birthed or not birthed, but strengthened in that time period I talked about. The artist way taught me to listen to it and to listen to it and to create. So I'm reading this book again so that I can create and continue to build my life through the canvas. And I'm constantly grateful to God for that opportunity. And I don't even create to expect anything, I just do it because I should. I just noticed that the benefit I get naturally is just this winning and this constant winning. There's no other way to put it. And I have genuine gratitude for that. So it's 15 minutes. Bye.